Hello everyone, this is Yamin and welcome to Web Knowledge. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can make login for user and admin in PHP. So first of all, we're going to create a login form, and if someone click this login button, it will take us to the login form. So let's go back to our code, and over here you can see that anchor tag href login. So we are just going to say over here login dot php, save it, Control S. Now we require to create this login.php. So let me just right click over here, then click new file, and here I'm going to say login.php, Control S, then save. So here I'm just going to write some random, let's say HTML. Let's just say random thing. Let's say over here login form, and inside this body, let's say inside h1, we are just going to say login form, save it. And right now if you just refresh over here, and if you now click this login button, here you can see it took us to this login form. Here you can see at the URL you can see login.php. So first of all, we are going to create a login form over here. So let's go back to our code, and here first of all let's just over here center, and inside this center first declare a div, and inside this div we are going to have a form, and inside this form we will have our like level and input field. So let me just give over here a div. We'll have the level and input field inside a div. So let's over here level, let's over here username, and we require to give a input field for username. So the type will be text, and let's say name is equal to username. So let me just copy this div, Control C, and I'm going to paste it over here 2 times actually. And here this time I'm going to say over here password, and input type will be password, and user name is equal to password. So for this last div we do not require label because it will be the submit button. So input type it will be submit, and we will say in the name equal to submit, and its value will be, let's say, login. So if you now save it, and if right now I refresh over here, so here you can see the username and password field over here. So let's make some small design for this username, password, and this login button. So let's go back, and over here you can see the div. So here I'm going to say over here class, let's say over here form underscore design, let's just say deg. Let's save it. So we'll go to our style.css and make some design for this form underscore deg. So in order to write some CSS for this in the style.css, first of all we need to connect our this login.php to our CSS. So let me just say over here link, and over here you can see href is equal to, I'm just going to say style.css. So right now our login.php is connected to our style.css. So let's go to our style.css and write the CSS for this form underscore dig. So let's go to style.css. So since it's a class, we need to give a dot, then we say form underscore dig. So inside this, we are going to say padding top. Let's over here 200 px. So right now, if we save it and if we just refresh over here, so here you can see it's now a little bit down in the center. So now we'll write some CSS for this level. So let's go back and let's go to login.php, and inside this label I'm just going to say over here class, let's say it will be level underscore, let's say dg, save it. Let's go to style.css, and here I'm just going to say dot level underscore deg. Then over here first I'm going to say over here display, it will be inline block. Then we want the text color to be, color will be blue, or let's just say sky blue. Then let's over here width, it will be 100 px. Then let's say text align, it will be right. Then let's say over here just padding top, it will be 10 px. Then padding bottom, it will be 10 px. So if you now save it and if we now refresh, here you can see username right now looks different. Let's go back and let's go to login.php, And here let me just copy this class, Control C, and I'm going to paste it inside this level for password. Control V, Control S. Let me just refresh. Okay, this now looks better than before. So right now let's make some design for this login button. So we are going to change the login button design using Bootstrap. So let's just search over here Bootstrap Syrian, and I'll just go to the first link. And if we now go down over here, you can see like 3 line of code over here. I'm just going to copy it, Control C, and I'm going to paste it inside this login.php, inside the head of login.php. So Control V, Control S, and I'm going to go down, and over here you can see input type submit. So I'm just going to mention a Bootstrap class over here. I'm just going to say over here btn, let's say btn minus primary. So save it, and right now if you just refresh over here, so here you can see the login button looks like this, and the form design changed a little bit because we use the Bootstrap CDN. So right now let's change that design a little bit more. So let's go back, and we'll say inside this form we are going to mention a class. We'll say login underscore form. Save it. Now let's go to style.css, and here I'm going to say dot login underscore form. Let's say background color, it will be black. So if I now save it, and if I now just refresh over here, you can see the background color looks like this. Let's change the background color width. So let me just say over here width, it will be, let's say 400 px. Control S, then save. Okay, it looks like this. Now let's add some padding at the top and the bottom. Let's just say over here padding top, let's say 70 px. Then we are going to say padding bottom, it will be 70 px. Save it, refresh. Okay, this now looks better. And let's also add a text over here. Like we'll write over here login form. So for it, let's go back and let's go to login.php. And inside this form underscore deg, let me just say over here, let's say over here center. And over here I'm going to say login form, and inside this center class center we're going to mention a class. Class name will be title underscore deg. Now let's go to style.css, and here we're going to say dot title underscore deg. Here we are going to say background color, it will be, let's say sky blue. Then we are going to say text color, let's just say color will be white. Let's say text, align it will be center. Let's say font width, it will be bold. So right now if we save it, and if I now just refresh over here, okay, we have the login form over here like this. So let's go back, and over here you can see for login form the width is 400 px. Let me just copy it, paste it over here. Then we are just going to let's over here padding top, it will be for login form, it will be 10 px, and padding bottom, it will be 10 px. And let's say one more thing, that is font size, it will be, let's say 20 px. Save it. Now let's refresh. Okay, this looks better. So let me just add a background image. So let's go back to our code, and let's go to login.php, and here in the body we're going to say background image. And here in over here you can see school2.jpg, and its image looks like this. So we are going to have this as a background image. So here I'm just going to say school2.jpg. Save it. So right now if we refresh, so here you can see the background image over here that looks like this. So here you can see the image, but the image is repeated multiple times. So let's change something over here in the body. Let me just mention a class, and let's just over here body underscore dg. Control S. Let's go to style.css, and here I'm going to say dot body underscore dg. So here I'm just first going to say background, it will be background repeat, it will be no repeat. Then background attachment, it will be fixed. Then background size, it will be let's say 100% and 100%. Save it now, and if we now refresh, so here you can see our login form right now looks better. So our login form is complete. So how to on is that if the user give the username and password and click login, it will take the user to that user specific page. So right now we'll go create a database and a table for this login. So first of all, you need to make sure that your XAMPP is running. So let me just click over here, and I'm just going to say on to 7.0.0.on. Then we give this clone sign, and you need to give the port number. For my case, my port number is 80 on. Over here you can see that in my XAMPP my port number is 80 on. For your case it will be different, it will be 8080 or maybe 8000. You need to give your port number, whatever port number you have over here. So for my case it's 80 on, for your case it will be 8080. So let me just say over here on to 7.0.0.1, then this clone, then I am going to say 80 on, you will say 8080. Then I'm going to say dashboard slash, and if I now press enter, I will see something like this, and you have to click this phpMyAdmin. Here you can see this is our phpMyAdmin, and we are going to click this new option. Then it will show you something like this database name. Let's say our database name will be school project. So right now in order to create a database, you have to click this create button, just click on it, and here you can see the school project over here. So right now first we are going to create a table for this school project. Let's say the table name will be user, and it will have a total of 6 column. So let me just change it to 6. You can change it like this, or you can just directly write it over here by typing. So here you will see a go button over here, just click on go. So you will see something like this. So the first one it will be ID, then the second one let's say it will be username, the third one let's say it will be phone, the fourth one it will be email, this fifth one will be user type, and let's say the last one it will be password. So after this we need to mention the type for each data over here. So for id the type will be integer, but over here you can see, if you go a little bit on the right, you can see ai means auto increment, and if I just click on this or tick on this, here you can see it will become the primary key. So here you can see our ID will be the primary key. So let's say over here for username we are going to use varchar. Let's say over here 32. Let's just say over here 50. Let's say for phone number it will be, let's say, integer. Let's say over here 30. For email it will be varchar. Let's just go with 50 over here. User type it will be varchar. Let's just say 50, and for password we'll also say 50 over here as well. And let's just say over here you can see null index. We are going to make everything nullable. So over here if you go down over here you will see a save option like this. Just click on the save button, then just go to your school project, and over here you will see your table that we just created, which was user. If I just click on it, you will see something like this. Here you can see username, phone, email, user type, and password. So let me just insert some value in this table. So for inserting value, all you have to do is that over here you can see insert option, just click on it. Then here we do not require to give ID because that's primary key and we have it auto incremented, so it will increase automatically. So let's say for username, let's say over here admin, and then for phone number let's just give a random phone number. Let's for email, let's say over here admin at the top gmail.com. User type it will be admin, and for password let's say 1234. Now using this user type we are going to decide which page we want the user to go. So let's just click over here go, and if we now click this browse, over here you can see username admin, user type admin, and password 1234. Let me just insert another row. Let's just click over here, insert again, and here I'm just going to say here student, then phone number, a random phone number. Let's just say email student@gmail.com. Let's say user type will be student, and the password it will be 1234. So now just click go. Here you can see on row inserted. Let's go to browse. So here you can see we have another entry called student, and the user type is student over here. So right now we want to log in from here using those data. So first of all, we'll go to our login.php first, and over here you can see that we mention a form over here. So inside this form, we require to write over here action, then we require to write over here method. The method will be post. Since we want to get data from the database, so in the action we are going to say login underscore check.php, because when a user is trying to log in, we need to check whether the data match with the database. So we will send the user to the login underscore check.php, and we'll write some code to check if the user trying to login is genuine or not. So first of all, we'll create this login underscore check.php. So just right click on over here, then click new file, and I'm going to say over here login underscore check.php. So Control S, then save. So here we are going to write some PHP code. So in order to write PHP code, we need to write something like this, and inside this we are required to write the PHP code. So first of all, what we need to do is that we need to connect this login check.php to our database with our database school project. So for it, so we are going to declare some variable over here. We are going to say $host is equal to, we are going to say localhost inside this double quotation, localhost, and then we are going to say, then we will say $user is equal to, it will be root, then we are going to say $password, it will be null, and the last one it will be $db. db means the database name, and our database name over here you can see school project. So we are going to say over here school project. So right now, in order to connect to our database, we just require to write a single line. Let me just declare a variable $data is equal to, I'm going to say my SQLi underscore connect, and inside this we require to mention all those variable. You can see $host, $user, $password, and $db. So I'm just going to say over here first $host, then I'm going to say over here $user, then $password, and the last one will be $db. So once you write this line, you will be actually connected to the database, I mean the school project database. If you now save it, and if I just refresh over here and let me just click on this login button, over here you can see there is no error. But if you want to really check if you are actually connected to our database, all you have to do is that give a if condition, and we'll say over here $data, then triple equal, not double, triple equal false. Then we're going to say die. Inside it, we're going to say connection error. It means if you are not connected to our database, then it will give us an error. So if I now refresh, obviously we will not see any error, but over here, if I just say, let's say over here school project on, so we do not have any database called school project on. So if I now save it, and if I now just refresh over here and let me just click on this login button, so here you can see it's giving us an error, MySQL connect unknown database project, school project on, and here you can see connection error message over here. So right now if I just remove this on, save it, and right now if I just refresh, here we can see there is no error. It means we are now connected to our database successfully. So right now we are going to give a if condition over here inside this login check.php. Let me just say over here if we are going to say $underscore server, then we'll give a third bracket, and we are going to say two double quotation, and we are going to say request underscore method, we'll say double equal post. So it means we'll only execute this if condition if someone click this login button. Over here you can see someone click this login button, and at the top we mention over here in the form we mention method equal to post. It means this if condition will only execute if someone click the submit button from here. Then it will go to login underscore check. Since the method is post, so it will go to this if condition. So here inside this if condition, let me just declare a variable. Let's say $name is equal to, we'll say dollar underscore post, then we'll give two third bracket, and inside this single quotation we're going to say user name. Now where is this username coming from? This username is actually coming from the login.php. Here you can see we mention name is equal to username. So this username is actually this one. So we also require to get the password. So let me just copy it and paste it over here. So here instead of name, let me just say over here pass, and here in this start bracket we are going to say password, and this password is actually coming from here. You can see name is equal to password, and this is just a variable that we just declare. You can declare this variable anything you want, these two variable. So right now we'll be able to get the username and password, whatever the user type over here. So right now we require to write a SQL or write a query over here. So let me just say over here $SQL is equal to, we'll give two double quotation, and let's just end it with a semicolon. So inside this double quotation we're going to say select, then we say star form user, and here you can see this user is actually our table name. Let me just show you. If I go over here, so over here you can see our table name is user, and you can see it over here as well. So we'll say over here select star from user, then we'll say where, then we'll say username is equal to, we'll say this name. So we'll give we'll first give two single quotation, and inside it we'll give two double quotation, then we'll give two dot, and then inside it we are going to say $name, and this $name is actually this on. So after, and you might be wondering where is this username coming from, and let me just show you. If I just go to my database, over here you can see username over here, and you can see the password over here. So we are going to use those two, and this username is actually this one. So after this we'll say and, then we are going to say password is equal to, we'll give two single quotation, then we'll give two double quotation, and inside it we'll give two dot, then we are going to say $pass. So this $pass is actually this on, and over here you can see password. This password is actually coming from the database from here. So right now we are actually checking whatever input the user write in this input field, whether they match to the database or not. So after this we just require to write like 6 or 7 more line to make login. So here we are going to select another variable. We said $result is equal to, we are going to say my SQLi underscore query, and inside this query we are going to mention this $SQL, and if you go at the top, so over here you can see $data variable, and using this line we actually connected to our database and we stored it inside this $data variable. So first of all we are going to say over here $data, then we are going to say over here $SQL. This SQL is actually this one. So after result we are going to mention another variable. Let's say over here $row is equal to, we'll say my SQLi underscore fetch underscore array, and inside it we are going to say $result, and this result is this one. Okay, so everything is set. Now all we have to do is that write some if condition. So I'm just going to say over here if, let me just write it properly. So let me just explain these two line over here. You can see $result. Using this result, using this MySQL query, we are actually checking whether they actually match to our database. Then you can see MySQL fetch array $result. So we'll be able to get some specific data in this $row variable. So inside this if condition, I'm going to say over here $row. Then I'm going with two double cut bracket, and inside it I'm going to say user type. Then I'm going to say equal, let's say over here student. Now you might be wondering where is this user type coming from and where is this student coming from. So let me just go to my database, and over here you can see that we declared this user type over here, and you can see user type admin and user type student. So let's say if this student is trying to log in using username and password, then it will check its user type. So we are actually giving the if condition over here whether the user type is equal student. If the user type equals student, then we'll say over here header. Then here we are going to say location. We first got to give two double quotation, then we will say over here location. Then let's say over here student home dot php. So we are just, let me just copy this if condition, Control C, and I'm going to paste it over here. And here we are going to say else if. So $row user type equal, it will be admin. Why admin? Because over here you can see in the database we have two type of user. One is admin and another one is student. So over here, if the user type is admin, we'll send the user to admin home. And now let's say if the username and password, none of them is matched to the database, then we'll go to else condition, and here we're going to say echo. Let's say over here username or password do not match. So now let's save it. So first of all, you can see that we trying to send the user to a specific file or specific page. You can see student_home.php, admin_home.php, but we do not have those pages. So let me just create those pages over here. I'm just going to right click the new file, and over here I'm going to say student.home.php. Control S, save. So here let me just write some basic HTML code, and let's say title will be, let's say student dashboard, and inside this body let's just say over here h1 tag, and we're going to say student home. Save it. So let's also create the admin home.php. So just right click over here, the new file, and here I'm going to say admin home.php. Control S, then save. So let me just copy everything, Control A, Control C, and Control V over here. Then Control, okay, over here we're going to say admin home, and over here admin dashboard. So save it. So right now let's just refresh over here, and let's try to give let's say over here admin, and let's say over here the password 1234. Click login. Okay, there is an error at line 21. Let me check. So over here we write post like this. We actually need to have this inside two double quotation. So let's save it, and right now it shouldn't give us an error. So here you can see admin home. So let's go back and let's write over here student, and the password was 1234. Over here you can see, let me just show you. Over here you can see username admin and student, password is 1234 for everyone. And if I now click login, here you can see it took us to student home. So over here you can see there is no login option, so we should have a login option over here. So let me just go to our admin home.php first, and here I'm just going to give an anchor tag, and inside this anchor tag we're just going to say logout.php, and let's just say over here logout. Save it, and let me just copy this on, Control C, and let's go to student home, just paste it over here, Control S. Now we'll create a logout.php. So let me just right click over here, then click new file, and I'm going to say over here logout.php, Control S, then save. So inside this logout.php, we are going to write some PHP code. Let me just say over here PHP, and we'll write it like this. So first of all, we are going to say over here session underscore start, and then we'll say session underscore destroy, then we'll say header, and let me just say over here location will be login dot php. Save it. So let me just refresh over here. So here you can see login option. If I click it, it took us to login page. Let's just go to admin page. Let's click login. It took us to admin page. If I click logout, it took us to login. Now let me just check. If I just click this login option without let's just say over here random things, and I just click over here the login option. Over here you can see that we are actually getting the message username or password do not match, but we are also getting the warning message at the top. So we only want to show this message, not this error message. So the solution is actually really simple. We just require to write one more line. We'll just go to login underscore check, and over here you can see at the top over here we're just going to say over here error reporting, it will be 0. If I just write this, save it, and if I just refresh now, we will not see any error. Here you can see there is no error. We are only seeing the message. But obviously it's not a good thing that we are showing the error message over here. We should show the error message in this page. Let's say we want to show the error message over here inside this login form. So that is actually really simple. So let's go back to our code. We'll go to our login check.php. Over here you can see echo username or password do not match. So we are just going to remove this echo, and we are just going to declare a variable. Let's say over here dollar message is equal to this one. Then we are going to say, we'll say just dollar underscore session. Let's say over here login message equal to dollar message. Then we are going to say header, we'll give two double quotation. We are going to say location, it will be login.php. So let me just explain it to you here. We are actually having this string inside this dollar message variable. Then we are using session dollar session login message, and we are storing this string inside this one, and we are actually sending this string to the login.php. So right now we'll go to our login.php. Let's go to login.php, and here let's say we want to show the message. Let's say over here. So let's say over here h4. So inside this h4, since we want to print this message, we require to write some PHP code. So for writing PHP code, we always need to write something like this, and then inside it we require to write the PHP code. So all we are going to do is that we are going to write over here echo, then we are going to say dollar underscore session, and here we are going to say login message. So now if I now save it, Control S, and if I now refresh, it will actually give us an error. Let me just show you. Here you can see undefined variable session in something 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 blah blah blah. So the solution is actually really simple. All we have to do is that we are just going to say over here error or reporting, it will be 0. So if I now save it, and if I now refresh over here, so here you can see there is no error message. If I click login, okay, it should have showed us the message. I think we have to go to our login underscore check, and over here in this else condition we have to mention session start over here. This will show the message. So save it. Inside this else condition, just write session start. Okay, now let's go to our login.php, and over here we'll also write session start. save it. Now let's refresh. Now it should work. Over here you can see username or password do not match. If I click login again, same message. And if I now refresh, okay, this isn't going. So for it, all we have to do is that right over here, session destroy. Right now if you save it, and if I now refresh, over here you can see there is no error message. If I just click login, there is a message. If I now refresh, okay, the message is gone. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, now let me just show you a issue over here. You can see that currently we are not login, but if we just say over here, let's say admin home.php, and if we press in admin home.php, and if we press enter, here you can see it took us to admin home page, even though we did not log in. And if we write over here student home.php and press enter, here you can see it took us to student home, even though we did not log in from here. So obviously we need to fix it. So for it, we'll go to our code again, then we'll go to, let's say, go to login check. Then over here you can see $row is equal to something, is equal to user type student and header location. So we are actually on to send, let's say we'll send a username from here to our student home.php. So let's over here $_ session. Then inside this third bracket, we are going to say username. Username is equal to, we are going to say $name. So you might be wondering where is this $name coming from. This $name is actually this one, and this username is actually we want to send to this student home.php. So since we are using session, so we need to write over here session start. Actually the better thing would be we should add the session start at the top. So let me just cut it from here, Control X, and we'll just write session start at the top, so we do not record to write session start again and again. Since we add the session start at the top, so we can write session any amount time you want. So let me just copy this from here, and I'm just going to paste it inside this else if condition as well. Control V and Control S. So here you can see that we are actually sending the username to our student home and admin home. So right now let's go to our student home first, and over here at the top we are just going to write the PHP tag for writing PHP code, and inside it first of all we are going to say session start. Then we are going to give a if condition. If let me just write it first like this. So here inside this if condition we are going to give this not equal sign. Actually this is not sign. Then we are going to say is set, and inside it we are going to say $_ session. We'll give third bracket, and inside it we are going to say username. So here you can see $_ session username. This is actually coming from the login home login check.php. Over here you can see. So we are over here, we are actually checking if there is no username, then go to the location login.php. So what we are doing is that if someone is login, then we are actually sending the username to this page. So and it will always check if there is an username. If there is no username, we give a not equal sign. If there is no username, then it will send the user to login.php. And if there is username, then it will let you see this page. So save it. So let me just copy this code, Control C, and we'll go to admin home.php, and we are just going to paste the same code over here. Control V and Control S. So right now let me just refresh over here, and you can see currently we are not logged in. And if we just write over here admin home, and if you press enter, here you can see it keep us on the login page. And if I just say over here, let's say student home, login.php, press enter. It keeping us on the login.php. So let me just show you one more issue. Let's try to log in. Over here you can see we are currently login, and right now if I just write over here student home.php and press enter, here you can see it took us to student home, and this shouldn't happen. And if I now currently write admin home, it will take us to admin home because we actually once login. That's why it means we actually have the username, so it means it actually letting the user go to this page. So for it we're going to write one more condition in the login underscore check. Actually not a condition, we are actually going to mention another session. We're going to say over here dollar underscore session, then we'll give two third bracket, and over here this time we're going to say user type equal to. Over here you can see for student the user type will be always be student, so let me just say over here stut student. So this time it will send the student user type to this student home.php, and over here let me just copy this line, control C and control V, and over here instead of student in this admin condition we are going to say over here admin. So for this time going to admin home, it will send the user type as admin. So right now we'll go to admin home.php, and here since we already have a if condition, so we are going to write a else if condition over here. So for this else if, we are going to say over here dollar underscore session, then we'll give two third bracket and two single quotation. We are going to say over here user type double equal to, here you can see this is our admin home.php, so we're going to write over here student. So if someone trying to go to our student home page, then it will send the user to login page. Okay, I hope you are clear. Don't worry, I'm going to explain it one more time. So let me just first copy it, and this time I'll go to my student home.php, and I am going to write over here user type is equal to admin, save it. So let me just explain it again from the login check.php. First of all, over here you can see, let's say someone a student is trying to log in. So when they are going to student home.php, they are going to the user type student. So over here, but over here you can see this is student home.php. But if someone from this page after login, someone is trying to go to the admin home page, which user type is admin, then it will send the user to login.php, and the same way is for admin as well. We just write over here student, and if someone tries to go to student home where user type is student, then it will send the user to login page. So I hope everything is clear, and if anyone have any confusion, you can let me know in the comment section. So let's go to our login.php, and over here let me just say over here admin, let's give the password, let's click login. So currently we are now admin home, and at the top you can see admin home.php, and let's try to go to student home. Let's say over here student home.php, press enter. You can see it took us to the login page. Now let's go to our student page, click login. So you can see currently we are now in the student home, and I'm just going to change the URL to admin home.php, press enter. Here you can see it took us to the login form. So I tried to explain as easily as possible, that's why this tutorial may be a little bit longer actually, but don't worry, I'll give the source code in the description or maybe in the first comment, so that you can just read the code, and maybe you will understand more about it. And if you have any confusion or if you are stuck at something, then let me know in the comment section. I'll give you a reply as fast as possible. So thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, then let me know in the comment section, and I will really appreciate if you subscribe this channel. So stay tuned and stay healthy.